Hi everyone, welcome back to the Napoleonic Stacking channel. I'm the Napoleonic Stacker. And in this video, we're going to be talking about the different kinds of silver that you can acquire for your stack, some of the advantages, the disadvantages, and basically what you need to be looking at if you're trying to stack for long-term wealth preservation. The starting point here is we're going to look at the spot price. And as of right now, the spot price of silver is right around $22.50. Now, what is the spot price? Spot basically is a price of precious metals that's determined by futures contracts and the commodities exchange out of New York City. And this is kind of a guidepost that we use to determine a starting point for the value of our precious metals. Now, as many of you have seen this year, the spot price really doesn't correlate completely with the actual price of the metals. Some say that there is manipulation in the markets. We'll get into that a little bit later on, but in general, spot price is what we look at as a starting point. Now, taking a look at the different metals you see before you, we're going to rank these into 6 different tiers. Kind of like Napoleon assembles an army. Your stack is basically your defense against inflation. Your stack is your defense against being poor. You effectively have wealth if you have silver, even if you have 1 ounce. But the starting point, and I would say the weakest tier, would be constitutional junk silver. Like this Kennedy half right here. It's a 1964. Any silver coinage in the United States that, I should say, any half dollars, dimes, or quarters, 1964 or earlier, are actually 90% silver. And here's a Benjamin Franklin. The advantage of stacking constitutional silver basically is the fact that it's recognizable. In a situation where, things go to pot and the government is out of control and you need to barter, for example, silver is a great, constitutional silver is a great opportunity for a bartering situation. And you can typically get junk silver pretty inexpensive. Here's just some dimes. Historically, you could get junk silver pretty inexpensive. However, recently, the pricing of junk silver has gone up pretty dramatically, which may actually move it into a different tier, but I'm still putting it in tier 6. And what that basically means is, in a situation where I had to liquidate or sell my silver, my constitutional junk silver would be the first thing to go. Here's a 1891 Liberty seated dime. It's in coal condition. I would still consider this junk silver. Now, taking a look at some of the other options that we have, the next tier of silver, tier 5, that's going to be our generic silver. So it's not backed by a country. It's not has any denomination on it. So, for example, this silver buffalo, this would be in tier 5. So the silver buffaloes are highly recognizable. It's actually the most common design for a silver round. We don't call this a coin. This is actually a round because there's no denomination. And it has the silver purity listed down below. This is 3/9 fine silver. And in general, when you go to a coin shop or you're looking online, most silver rounds are going to look just like this. And you can see here, this was actually produced by the Highland Mint. Now, along that same line, you've got silver bars. So this is an example of a 1 ounce silver bar. And you can see on the back, it has the weight and the purity listed. So 0.999 fine silver. This is a SilverTowne bar. And you might be asking, what's the difference between the silver round and the silver bar? Well, effectively, they're the same thing except for the shape. So silver bars sometimes can be a little more collectible, like this one here. This is Washington at Valley Forge. Pretty cool. Some of the older art bars. This is actually in 1973, so this would be considered kind of a vintage collectible bar. Some people prefer bars. Some people prefer rounds. Generally speaking, they're typically about the same price. This is a 10-ounce bar here by Sunshine Mint. You can see again it's got the purity listed here and the weight, and that makes it real easy for people to be able to identify, what it is, how much it weighs, and what it's worth. Here's my Four Horsemen of the Apocalypse bar. I got this from Provident Metals not too long ago. And, some of these bars might be considered, they might have some type of additional value above spot. But in general, you're buying silver bars and silver rounds as close to spot as possible. The same goes for junk silver. Now, moving into our tier 4. Tier 4, I would say, is our sovereign coins from foreign countries, like this Canadian maple leaf here. This is actually one of the most popular bullion coins in the world. It has great security features. It's highly recognizable. Some of the security features are those radial lines that goes around the maple leaf, very difficult to replicate. There's also micro engraving within the maple leaf, the mini maple leaf down here that actually has the date, which there's no way I can zoom in because it's micro engraved. But the great thing about these coins, they're secure. There's a lot of penalties for counterfeiting, and again, they're super recognizable. The Canadian Mint has 4 nines fine silver for their bullion coins, and the purity really doesn't make a whole lot of difference if it's 999 or 4 nines fine. Ultimately, you're still getting 1 full troy ounce of silver with these. And also, I would rank the South African Krugerrand kind of in that same boat. This is a 2019 South African Krugerrand here. They began striking these in 2017 for, I believe, the 50th anniversary of the gold Krugerrand. And something that people don't generally know, if you have a loop with like 10x magnification, way down right below the springbox leg, it has micro engraving Krugerrand. And anytime I buy these coins, I always take my loop and zoom in to make sure that it's authentic. And again, you want to be buying from reputable sources. So as far as spot price goes, the spot price is going to go up as we go up in the tiers. There can be some advantages of spending more for a particular coin like the Krugerrand or like the Canadian maple leaf. For example, the fact that it's backed by a sovereign government, there's stiff penalties for counterfeiting, and they're more trusted than just generic silver bullion. Now, moving up into tier 3 category, I would say tier 3, well, I take that back. Tier 3 is actually going to be our semi-numismatic coins. So semi-numismatic coins are going to have an additional premium above what we just saw with the Krugerrands, the maple leaves, Britannias, and others. This is a Australian kookaburra, and the kookaburra coin they're pretty highly collected. The face on it changes. I should say the reverse changes every year, and many people collect these just because of their beauty. There's usually not a significantly higher premium over spot. Some of the other coins very similar. We've got the Australian silver swan, and some weird ones here. This is a alien coin from the country of Ghana in Africa. Pretty wild. So, I would rank stuff like this in tier 3, and as far as what would go next if I had to sell. And the the bullion value is still 1 ounce of silver. Um, they're just going to be more collectible pieces. And again, even though they're different, they're collectible. There's not a huge premium over spot for these pieces that I'm showing you, but I would rank them as a semi-numismatic. And in the second tier, I would rank second tier the American Silver Eagle. Now, this is actually the most recognized coin in the world. It's the most popular silver coin to stack for most collectors. Um, you take a look at the back here, it does have 1 ounce of fine silver and a $1 denomination. So you can take a silver eagle anywhere in the world and take it to a coin shop, a pawn shop, and they're going to know exactly what this is. Now, silver eagles in the past have actually carried, they've always carried a higher premium over spot than generic bullion, and also sovereign mint bullion from other countries. But recently, the premium on these coins have gone up dramatically. So I've not been acquiring as many silver eagles as I had in the past. But as far as level of importance, and one of the last coins that I would liquidate are my silver eagles, because of the high premium, because of how much you pay for them. They are super liquid. They're very easy to sell, and they're some of my most prized bullion. And looking at tier 1. So tier 1 are going to be the coins that effectively you're only going to be able to recoup your cost on, say, eBay or selling to a third party. This is a 2021 Morgan silver dollar, and this is actually the Carson City variety. And you can actually see the Carson City mint mark down there at the very bottom of the coin. But this is a coin that has a tremendous price over spot if you buy it from the mint. And then, of course, if you're buying it third party, it's significantly more expensive than what you would normally pay for silver. And this is more of the collectible stuff. This is the last that would go in my stack if I had to sell during an emergency or if I was liquidating my silver. But basically, in a nutshell, everything that we've talked about here, the tiered system, this is how you have to think about how you want to sell your silver. When you're buying it, you've got to think about your end game. And with my end game, the constitutional junk silver goes first. We've got our generic buffalo rounds and bars that goes second. We have our Canadian maple leaves, our Krugerrands, our Australian silver kangaroos, our Britannias, and so forth that go third. Then we have bullion like this, which is our semi-numismatic stuff. And depending on the situation, this may go third, it may go second. And then our frontline defense is going to be the silver eagles, because they are the easiest ones to liquidate. I think they're very valuable. If you sell off all your silver eagles and you have the rest of this left, your stack is left weaker because of it. And I've been in a situation where I've never had to sell my silver, but I have done some silver to gold trades and some gold to silver trades. And something you want to think about with your stack is the diversity of the stack. So, what is it that you're buying? Are you only buying silver eagles? Are you only buying junk silver? In general, it's good to have a mix of the various types of silver coinage and bars, because you don't know who you're selling it to, what they're going to want. And when I did my silver to gold trade, it was a mixture of silver eagles, maple leaves, Krugerrands, Britannias. I basically deployed my regiments to be able to acquire gold. And then when that gold to silver ratio went down, I was able to basically pick up more gold, and keep more of the silver that I had acquired. So we'll go into that a little bit more later on. But I just wanted to go over the tier system, kind of my thoughts on it, and let me know what you think in the comments. If you like the video, please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you.